Hi everyone, trust you all are doing well and welcome to our next lesson. And in this lesson, we're basically going to carry on where we left off. We're going to create our tag controller, then the routes and our tag views, and then obviously our methods inside our tag controller right there. Right. So this is the things we'll be doing in this lesson. We're going to do a lot of copy and paste. As most of the hard work has already been done in the category controller, so this will be probably be a shorter lesson. But all right, so let's get started. So let's create our tag controller. All right, so what we're going to do is PHP artisan make controller. Okay, and we're just going to do tag, remember, singular controller like this. And we're going to attach the model. And the model will be tag. Basically, what it will do is it will create all the methods inside it, from index to delete, all those methods, and it actually do the model binding for us as well. Right, so we're just pressing enter, and the controller successfully created. Just to see the controller, I'm just going to go to tag controller. Okay, so how to get there is to app ACP controllers tag controller. Right here. So we got all our methods inside there. Right. So the next part will be to go to our routes file. Okay. So to go to our routes file. Okay. I'm just using a quick method to do that. But what you can do, you just go to app, to routes, web, and then we have our routes right there. Okay. So I'm just going to close that window. Now, what we're going to do now is basically just going to copy down our categories one. Okay. Like I explained before, I'm using it this way, or you can use the route resource method in here. It's completely fine and it will work very well. Will actually work better. But I wanted to do it this way because I want to show you all the methods in there. And sometimes I prefer to actually write out all my routes like this instead of the resource way. It's just like, end of the day, personal preference. All right. So we've got our categories. We're just going to change this to tags. I'm highlighting the categories and I'm just going to press Control D and I'm just going to rename it to tags. Okay. So I'm highlighting the controller again, then Control D. Okay. That just highlights it. Okay, then I just change them all simultaneously to the tag controller. Just make sure it's imported at the top right here. When you do that, as you can see, it's imported right there. Okay, and then we're obviously going to change this category to tag as well. Right, so basically, just like that, we have done our routes because, like I said before, all the hard work was done here. Now it's just copy and paste. Kind of speeds up the workflow. All right. So basically we got our index route. As you can see, class already imported. Why the message was delayed like that, I don't know. All right. Then we got our create and our post, our get and our put method for our update and our delete method. And we're going to use the slug for model binding right there instead of the ID. I prefer to use the route model binding because it works just better for me. It's just my opinion. All right. So after we've done our routes, let's see what's next. Next is our views. Okay. So let's go and create our views. Let me close that. All right. Now inside our resources, views, dashboard, we're going to create a new folder called tags. Now we're going to create the index.blade.php. Okay. Then we're going to create the create.blade.php. We must have 3 views in there, and the last one is called edit.blade.php. We're not going to add the show method inside our tags. Don't need that. We're only going to need those 3 for now. All right. Now we're going to copy and paste again. So we open up our categories in our dashboard. The index method we're going to copy. Then inside our tags.index, we're going to paste the categories.index file right there. Okay, easy peasy. All right. And then we're going to do the same for the edit. Just copy that and paste it in here. And for our create, copy and paste in here. All right. So that's all done. So we just close that. Okay. So basically now we have our index view that we copied from the categories.index. We got our create view that we copied from the categories.create, and our edit that we copied from the categories.edit. All right, so let's, in the index, what we're going to do now is we're just going to change the categories to tags. The routes is obviously now going to be, let me just select them all, just to tags.index. Oh no, I don't need to. What I do is I just highlight them all. Okay, let me just show you again. Just highlight them all and just Control D. Then you select them all and just do tags dot. Okay, so basically it changes all of them for you. Okay, we got that done. Now we go to the index. We're not going to have the subcategories under tags. We're only going to have the ID and the name and created and updated and obviously the actions. All right. Then we're going to change the categories to tags, and let me select this one right here, and we're just going to Control D to select all of them, and we're just going to replace it with the tag. Okay, so basically got the tag ID, tag name. So this part right here we're not going to need for the subcategories. We delete that. Tag.created add, updated add, that all is fine. As you can see, we got our tag.edit, and we have the tag right there. Tags.delete, we got the tag right there as well. So the methods and everything is fine right here now. Okay, so let's save that. Let's go to the create method. Inside here, we're just going to change it to tags again, the header. And we're just going to change this to Control D again, so highlight them all and just replace it with tags dot. Okay, just like that. Right, so we got a tags.store, which is perfect. Now we're not going to create parent ID and subcategories. All right, the names are all fine, and then we have the create method. Okay, so that's all we do. So we change it the routes. Okay, change it the title. We're going to change the route here to tags.store instead of categories.store. And everything here is fine. And then we removed obviously that. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So we got our categories for the edit. We just change it to tags. Right, as you can see in the nav slot right there, we're just going to highlight the categories dot. Just highlight it and you press Control D. Right, so it highlights all of them. And then what you do is you just press tags dot. Okay, so then it changes all of them for you. Right, as you can see, tags dot update. And I just want to highlight this part right here. The $sign category. Control D. And I'm just going to replace it with tag. Okay, so it quickly and easily changes everything for you. All right, so we got the update there. So all of this is done now. So now all we need to do is basically go back to our tag controller. So okay, let's do that. Tag controller. Okay, so we're inside our tag controller. Right, so now we're just going to return the views. Let's return a view. Okay, and our index is dashboard.tags.that. Now, as you remember before, we need to send the data with. So we can do like this, open and close array tags. Just close it off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to call it tags like this and just tag all. Okay, easy peasy. So basically what this does is basically getting all the tags and it's sending it under this variable. So key value pair. Right, it will send that to the index. Now in a create method, We don't need anything. We just really need to return the view there. So return the view. Okay. Dashboard.category tags.create. Perfect stuff. In the store method, all right, this is what I want to show you guys. All right, now I'm going to create a tag request, right, in order to deal with the request for us. All right, so let's do that quickly. All right, so in our store method, we're just going to create a new request. So let's clear our console. So PHP artisan make request. Now I'm just going to call mine tag request, not the update tag request or store update. I'm just going to use the one request for that, for them both. Okay, so I'm just going to do tag request. Okay. Yes, let's do just the one. All right, the tag request. All right, so we're going to import that tag just like this. We're going to use the tag request. All right, just make sure it's imported at the top. Right here, you can see the request is imported right there. The next part that we're going to do is we need to edit some rules in our tag request right there. So what we do is we open this. Now you'll see you have a new folder called request, and we have our, right, so we have a new folder now. Sorry about that. We got a new folder called request, tag request right here. So now in here, we just need to turn authorized to true. And then we're obviously going to add the rules. The rules is going to be name. That is basically going to be an array. And we're just going to say required. Okay. And it's going to be unique. So we don't want multiple tags with different names. We're just going to say tags table. And we're just going to leave it like this. Okay, so that's basically the rules right there. Now another thing that you can do is, let me just do like this, just as reference. This is just for fun. You don't have to do this. Public function name. Okay, and this is going to be a string. Okay, then we're going to just say a return this dot get the name. Basically what it does, it's just going to get the name from the basically the request. Okay, all good stuff. All right, so that is done. Let's go into our tag controller. So we have that now. Now all we're going to do now is, like, we're not going to create like this tag equals to new tag. This part will be still the same, but we're not going to do the tag dot name is equal to requested name. We're not going to do that. I will show you what we're going to do in this one. All right. We're going to have our parentheses, and we're going to open and close like this. New tag will be basically a name. Okay, and it will be equal to, no, not equal to. Right, it will be equal to the request.name. But basically what I've done is it will actually call the method inside our request right there. This method right here. And basically this will just get a get method. It will actually just get the name. Right, this is just for fun. You don't have to do this, but it's quite handy to know. And then we're obviously just going to do is the slug equal to the string. This and slug. Just remember to always try and import if you use, right, so we import it there, and then we're just going to use the request dot name. You can do it like this or like this because of the method that we created inside our request. All right, so that's that, and then we're going to say tag dot save. Okay, And then obviously return redirect. Come on. Redirect to route tags.index. And that's going to be with the success. Okay, as you guys can remember from the alerts from the previous lesson. All right, success alert. Tag success. I spelled this wrong, the previous one. Created. Okay, so let's see if it works. All right. So this is kind of the new syntax I want to show you. So this is also a way to do it. All right, so let's create our tag. All right, so now we're in our browser. If we refresh, okay, so we're all refreshed. This is coming from the database. And let's go to the tags. Obviously, the Navbar haven't been updated yet. Okay, because it's still going to the dashboard. Okay, so let's change that quickly. Go back to VS Code. Right, we are using the resources, views, the menu, the navigation menu right here. Let me just do it like this. Just remember, views, navigation menu, this one right here, okay? Now in here, what we're going to do is we need to replace the dashboard.index to tags.index. Let me just copy this down, tags.index. All right, so that changes that. This post will obviously be done last. Okay, so we got our tags right there. Okay, so let's go to our browser again. Refresh. As you can see on the dashboard, but as soon as we click on tags, it's supposed to give us the tags right now. All right, so we got our tags with our index and create method. All right, there's obviously no tags yet. So let's press the create and hopefully it works. All right, so we got our create method right there. And let's create some, let's call it some tag. Okay, let's press create and see if it works. All right, it works. Tag successfully created. All right, so we got some tag right there. Let's create another one. Good tag. Okay, so create. As you can see, tag successfully created, and we've got a good tag and some tag. All right, let's see if we can edit that tag, but we can obviously not yet because, no, I think we can. No, we cannot. So let's go back to VS Code, because if we click on this, we will get an empty view. All right, so in our tag controller, where is it? Okay, we're in our controller right now. We just obviously need to delete. You can delete this right here. All right. Let me also show you something. You can actually, this comment block, you can actually delete it as well. You can just remove it. You don't need it, but it is handy. I just want to show you guys and say that it is handy to keep them and stuff like that, but it's not really necessary. All right, so we're just going to delete that because the function kind of says what it does and all that kind of stuff already. Right, in the edit view, we're just going to return a view, and the view is going to be dashboard.tags.edit. All right, it's going to go with a compact method because we don't need to. Let me show you. You remember on the index, we created an open and empty array where we can actually assign the variable and assign it like this. But in here, I'm not going to do that because we can actually call the tag right here because it's actually being injected via Laravel. Okay, so all we can do is we just have to do it like this. Then we're done. Right, and the last part is going to be the update one, but we're not going to do, yes, we're returning the view. Let's do the update. Now the update, we can do the tag request. Right. Okay, so we've got our tag request. Now what we're going to do now is, let me just return the request on update. Okay, so let's just return it, or you can just do die and dump and like this. Okay, you can do it like this. I'm just going to return it. Okay, so let's go to our browser. All right, and let's refresh our edit. some tag. We're just going to change it to some tags, and then we're going to press update. As you can see, the put method, and it got our values right there. So all good. So let's update it. So inside our controller, what we're going to do, you see the tag right here, because in the model binding, right? So we're going to just say update. Okay. Now we're going to have an array, and that's just going to be basically name. Okay, that will be name, and it will be request dot name, right? And then obviously the slug. Yeah, that will be the string str. Okay, slug, and that will be request dot name. Let's hopefully this all works. And just remember to do this and that. And then we're obviously going to redirect from here. So redirect to around. Come on, everyone spell. The route will be basically tags. Come on, string tags dot index, and then with method. Okay, with says tags successfully updated. Come on. Alright, so that is done. That took a lot of typing, but I think it's just me mistyping right at the moment. But tired, but it's okay. Right, so we got our tags, we updated, and we redirected it. Okay, so let's see if it works. Right, so we're gonna do tags and update it. Okay, where's it redirecting now? I think I just turn. Alright, return, you can see I'm tired. Okay, return redirect route to tags.index with success. Okay, so let's let's save that. Let's go back to VS Code. Okay, so we're just going to put some S's there, update. What's happening now? Alright, let's go back, refresh. One, refresh, edit. Okay, so let me edit this one. Just remove the S's. Update. As you can see, text tag successfully updated, and it's supposed to go up like that. Right, so we're done now. The only thing we need to do is we need to be able to delete this. So let's go back to our tag controller. Right, so we're just going to do a tag delete, and then we return redirect. Let's just copy this. Return redirect to tags.index and success tag successfully. I'm just going to do this deleted. All right, so let's see if it works. Refresh and delete. Tag successfully deleted. All right, so that all works. So let me push it up to GitHub. Thank you guys for watching it this far. So let's push it clear. All right, so get a nerd. No, get ahead. Okay, so I'm making this a bit bigger. Okay, so get commit. What will the message be? Lesson 8. No, yeah, so 8. Yes. Tag controller. Let me just make tag CRUD. Okay, like this. Then we edit, commit that, and then we push it. Get push. Right, then we push it up to the GitHub. Right, so that is all done. Right, so we have uploaded for you to GitHub. Pushed it actually. Correct term. Thank you guys for watching, and if you liked the video, please give it a like. If you didn't like it, give it a dislike. And if you have any positive or negative feedbacks, please give them to me. I really appreciate it. And yes, enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to take a bit of a rest. And yes, hopefully freshen up for the next lesson. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one. Goodbye.